All right, here we are live. Good afternoon, world. Good evening. Good morning, wherever you are. And here is we're back again on a Sunday afternoon. This is Bantu TV, and um, I am Kalinda Sachinda, broadcasting out of the Hoosier State of Indiana in the city of Indianapolis. And what a day! It's September 1st, but it's already. Oh my goodness, 3 months before the before we this year is out. All right,
Yeah,
what
oh yeah,
come in and do your vuvuzelas on this Sunday afternoon?
definitely. It's yeah, we're looking at what are we looking at? We're looking at the first of September. The year is almost over, which is good. And yeah, the year is almost over. Well, let me just say the year is actually over. So yes, it's good. I mean, we've it's we're ending towards we're running towards the end of the year. If you believe it or not, September, October, November, and it's sharp. you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, then the year is over already. So we need to ask ourselves, what have we done so far? What have we done? As personally on an individual level. What have we done? As a country, which is one of the topics that we're going to discuss, of course. And yeah, I mean, like I said, my name is Chanda Chinuke. For ladies and gentlemen that are joining us now, broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. We apologize for starting it a little bit late, but we're here, and let's discuss and find out what we can talk about. Yeah, so here we go. Like Linda, hope everybody else joins in, and I'm sure that we can have a healthy discussion.
yeah. I mean, let's just start. I guess. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. 1,000 apologies, as some people would say, for starting the show late today. Yeah. Anyway, let's start. And there's no easy way to start this show, but we have to do this, better face. 3 years in since President HH and his group took
Hmm.
over the reins of government in Zambia, and what is it that they have done in 3 years? I mean, we have to review this, and there's no easy way to start. And I mean, you can look at it from any way, which way angle you want to look at this topic from. The political side of things, social side of things, for the economy side of things, religious side of things, you name it.
Mm,
I mean, this it's a broad subject. That's why I didn't want to put a lot of topics today, because I mean, Zambians deserve to know where we're coming from and where we're heading. So maybe I'll
mm,
start with you, Bachufia. 3 years in of the new dawn.
mm. Well, that's a good question.
Mhm.
3 years in is not a simple what you call it, a simple thing. I mean, there's been a lot of what you call it, a lot of uh, 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 promises rather that were done during the campaign period, and according to the party manifesto, we have to look at those things that we said we're going to do for the country of Uganda. Now, when the big question is this: this is only 3 years, and in the 3 years, what have we done, and what kind of milestone has the current government reached or achieved when it comes to the promises? I, for one, I can tell you, like, when it comes to education itself, we actually have had a lot of success in terms of the recruitment of teachers. Also, we've had success in terms of of free education. So free education, kids, children are able to go to school for free, okay? Which lifted that heavy burden to the poor mother in Zambia or Mozambique. Instead of her worrying about how am I going to pay for the fees, how am I going to do, all she can say is, okay, fine, my child can go to school for free. All I need to provide is books and school shoes, chap. So that has lifted that burden to the ordinary Zambian. So if I'm able to speak it, so education, and because of that, teachers have been employed. You know, um, Believe it or not, but the current government has employed more teachers than any other. Well, if we just say, because some people say don't compare from the previous. Well, how are we going to move ahead if we don't compare bar to bar? So in the whole 10 over 10 years that they had, or whatever 10 years they had, the recruitment of teachers has been more in this previous government, and it's only 3 years. So it's a plus. So those are the things we need to look at. Health sector, a lot of health workers have been employed. Okay, so we're looking at now in terms of generally looking at the what you call it employment sector. We've employed more youth because people, when the president your campaign will say he's going to employ the young people, and the young people have been employed in education, in health, and in the military service, police service. I mean, if you just go online, you'll see the faces of the people that have been recruited are young, very, very, very young, very young. So the youth have been taken care of, right? So that's the two things I can talk about now, and then Wakalinda, you can bring in and tell me what you've seen so far. Hello, hello. Yeah. So anyway, before we wait for Wakalinda to come back,
I'm
um,
right here. My microphone was failing me here for a moment, but I'm back. Oh yeah, so you've tackled quite a lot of issues there, and yeah, I mean, and I think you put things pretty much straightforward, and I mean, from my perspective, um, when I look at this question, yeah, so I think I'll go one sector as well. So um, I'll always start with the political side of things because that's how my brain works. Actually, yeah, don't look at me the other way, but that's how my brain works. So politically wise, where are we coming from? We're coming from a regime that was just way out there, you know, abrogating on so many people's human rights, economic rights, religious rights, and I mean, unless if people want us to, go one what's the word for it? I'd like to say, hmm, maybe let's not go there because they'll be accused of. Okay, so anyway, where are we 3 years in? I know for a fact that on the political front, I know our opposition, you know, parties or leaders have been on the forefront accusing this government of being undemocratic. And I mean, you listen to these people day in and day out accusing the new donor of being dictators, and raising sound on the opposition being mistreated, or being arrested when they're not supposed to. But and yet, in hindsight, these people are out there, laying down the groundwork to being arrested. I mean, take for instance the former Republican president, um, Mr. Edgar Chagalungo. I mean, I mean, the videos are there, the reports are there. I mean, he's been singing to anybody who cares to listen, and telling, he's on house arrest, he can't move anywhere. And yet, you see him week in, week out, having these political rallies, and stating his case to the Zambian masses, and with his recent utterances where he threatened to arrest um, civil servants who are not toiling the PF line. You know, that's on just one hand. And then on the other hand, he's telling the international community that he is on house arrest. And I mean, he's covered by the media freely. He calls, I mean, these press conferences, and yet in his time, no one on the opposite side could call for press conferences, or even hold rallies. These are facts. I mean, I don't know if as Zambians we forget this current president was arrested at some point over, to me, that what looked like a traffic infringement, but he was arrested and thrown in jail for treason, and left there for almost half a year. Um, you know, and yet he can leave his house and go and try to raise havoc at a party secretariat, and then he's allowed to go home free. Even these people who are saying no are being arrested. I mean, let's take for instance this DP president. Uh, what's her name? Savo.
Harikala. Okay. Oh, I thought this party is. You can even, if you can fail to follow them. I don't know. DP is what? Is this Harikala or?
No,
Oh
DP
no
is
no
it?
no.
I don't know. Democratic.
Uh-huh.
No,
But
no,
before
Harry
we get
Kalaba is citizens arrest.
or citizens
Savoy.
first.
Yeah, see whatever. When I citizen arrest. Yeah. Um, a democratic something. Savoy, Imboy. Huh? She can accuse somebody, of a heinous crime, and expect to walk the streets of Osaka free, you know,
Okay. Hmm.
uh, and they
Let's
just let.
let's not digress. You're forgetting that we're talking about
I'm not
the 3 years.
digressing. I'm just laying my case. I'm comparing
Mm-hmm.
to what's happening now to what used to
Mm-hmm.
happen before. So I don't know where the digression is.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's just a political world. I mean, the political environment we're coming from. So, I mean, people are. I mean, I was in Zambia recently. Talked to people. People are happy. Walking the streets of Lusaka or the major cities without being harassed for wearing the color red or green. That's just political freedoms. Before, you wear the color red just in city market. Um,
Mm.
God bless you if you're gonna come out there alive
Yeah,
before
yeah.
somebody smokes you. I mean, that's also that's on an individual level now. You know,
Mm,
people
mm,
couldn't campaign for free.
mm, mm,
I
mm,
mean, so I mean, I think this is a topic that we will continue to talk. If we look at the economic front, the kind of, the economic milestones that we have achieved, with the debt relief for
mm,
starters, we're seeing the mines being unlocked in terms of KCM is back online, Mupani back up and running, Shaft, 28 or all those are
mm.
milestones during the PF. Those companies were closing down.
Correct.
Now we're talking about it, one of the biggest nickel mine in Zambia. That's on the economic front. Granted, I mean, these benefits haven't really trickled down uh, uh, into a common man's pocket, because at the end of it all, people want to eat. Eh? Into Kolia, that's what we Zambians say. But you can see the trajectory of where we are going. You can see the vision. You can smell it. You know.
Mm, mm, mm,
And church-wise, I mean, people are free to gather and pray whoever God they so choose to believe. You
mm,
know,
mm.
my mother's brother in Gualo, I guess he still prays at an anthill for rain. All right. Now I'm just being silly now. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
that. Socially wise, I mean, I don't know what. Come in. Now you might I'm digressing. I'm trying to qualify where I'm coming from. And that's the Zambia I see for myself. And
Okay.
when I talk to my people back home.
Okay. No, I think there's so much that has happened, and there's so much that we can discuss when in terms of developmental issues. I think that's where most Zambians want to um, touch base with. It's like, okay, fine. What has this current government done so far? And I can tell you for a fact, it's done a lot, even though it may not be seen or heard, or it may not look as if it's much because it's only 3 years. Like, how much can one person do in 3 years? Or one party or one organization do in 3 years? The mandate itself is look, we have a 5 year term. Why don't we judge, okay, or put ourselves in an exam to say at the end of the 5 years, let's start taking. Okay, so 3 years to me, it's like yeah, we can talk about the 3 years, but what I'm saying is let's talk in the next 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, when the Zambian people sit down to start rethinking and to see who they can bring back in power. Because people, Zambian people are not ignorant. They actually, well versed and they know what's going on in the world and in the country. So they would just sit down and say, this, yes, I've done that, yes, this, I've done that, yes, this. Did they promise free education? Yes, tick. Did they promise to employ youth? Yes. Did they promise to employ health workers? Yes. Did they promise to at least, bring the economy to a normal level? Yes. How is that being done? It's only being done in terms of uh, you know bringing out certain projects and policies like CDF. So CDF is an indirect way in which you can at least alleviate the economy of the local people of Zambia. Because you go to any neighborhood, even in Ugwalo, in the village, wherever, you find people they would ask to say, me, I'm a small scale farmer, okay? I would like to apply so that I'm able to improve my yield. I only have, 5 hectares of land, but I don't have the capacity to farm the land. And then you go there, you apply for it and say, okay, fine, what do you need? I need to buy this kind of blouse, so that I'm able to employ at least 5 people to start working with me. And then I start farming slowly. And people will say, oh, fine, okay, no problem. They review it and they say, fine, let's give you the loan. There are loans, there are grants, all those things. People can tap in and take advantage of all those things. So that's where the CDF program has been a success story. But it's I know it's news or it's not something new to people. I mean, it's not really nice. Some people would, say, "Oh, yeah, CDF is not working," but it's only not working when you, as a leader, you don't believe in it once. So there's no way if you don't believe in something. Okay, it's more like we have been in the sales industry for years. If you don't believe in what you're selling, then there's no way you're gonna sell it to the people. The people won't even believe it. So if a leader himself they don't agree with CDF just because it's coming from the current government, which is UPND, and then you are in opposition, for example, Patriotic Front, you start thinking already automatically to say no, this thing is not gonna work. I don't even want to waste my time, and you find your constituency is the only one that's lacking. They're not being, people are suffering at the end of the day. So so we've done so many strides, so many things, and this is just one part I can talk about. But there's so many. I got a huge list here. But of course, we got Danny. I think has joined us. So do you welcome Danny Bakalil?
No, Madani says is just listening in the background today. He's doing something.
Okay,
So keep talking.
okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So anyway, like I said, you know, the CDF program has been very successful. Aside from that, aside from it being a successful, program, we can start now looking at other things. Okay, so one, education, employment, and the mining sector. So the mining sector, because Zambia, like I've always said, Zambia has been heavily relied on the mining sector. In fact, right now, as we're talking, Zambia relies on the mining sector. Now, if in the past 10 years, the three big mines were closed, how were we going to employ, correct the current economy by the shutdown of all these mines? So that's why when the current government came in, Hakainde Hichilema and his team, they said, oh, look, let's not fight each other in the courts. Because if we're fighting each other in the courts, the people of Zambia suffer while we're busy arguing, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now you can imagine if he had taken the same route that Avena Lungu took. Right now, it would have been in court, and there would have been any activity at whatsoever in the Copper Belt. And the copper belt is one of the largest, uh, uh, you know, voters base for the UPND. They said, look, we've suffered long and hard enough. Can we get a new government that's going to, at least help us? So that's why they voted for UPND. And when the UPND came, they said, first thing he said, but it's like, look, I'm going to revamp the copper belt. Once the copper belt has been revamped, then we're going to start seeing that economy starting to build up. Being a bloodline of an economy, the mining sector is what we heavily rely on. You know, we cannot just leave it in the court of the law. So that's why everything now has been resolved. Concola, it's on. Mopani, all the major mining companies that were closed off or were on some sort of receivership are now online. So now we're seeing those things now happening. And we're seeing an economy that I was just watching on the other day on the news, on the TV. Somebody was saying that, oh, this lady, she sells, she's got like a small restaurant. She's saying, all my stuff has been, bought, you know. People are now, so the trickling effect. People that work in the mall, they want to go and have lunch. Or all those small little restaurants, they're now booming with business because people are now going for work and they need to, at lunchtime, they need to go and eat. So these are the things. And but look at it. If we're still in court, Mama Yoba wanachukumbwira, she wouldn't have been making any kind of money. You see? Now she's making some money. Teri ashiri povali. Bakalenda. Kapo moli?
I'm here. I'm right here. I can hear you loud and crystal clear. So that's the economic front you're talking about. So yeah, I mean, there's still challenges there. I mean, yeah, it's good to see headlines like, oh, by the way, when the miners in at KCM when they got their two-pin bonuses this past week. All the booze and food in restaurant ran out because the miners just went to the back to enjoy themselves. So it's good to read and hear about those stories, but there's a lot that needs to happen, and people. If you call home now, people are crying about this load shedding where they don't have power and they're comparing to the past, and unfortunately, we can't run away from those comparisons. I mean, yes, we are affected by the drought, and what is the government doing to address some of these things now? I mean, we have all these investments that are coming in. Um, the expansion of Mamba power from 300 to 600. We have a new solar plant that's being constructed in Samba. Um, there was an announcement this week. The Tunduma power station construction there is underway, where they are putting up this substation that they're going to connect the grids to the Zambian electricity system. That way, we easily, in times of droughts like this, we can just tap into the power supplies in Tanzania to come into Zambia, and there's that $300 million bill that we still have to take care of in Mozambique. That the PF left, and then we have um, the 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 Saudis with their 2,000 megawatts plant coming in. So all those are things to look forward to on the economic energy front. But we hope that they'll be able to sort out also the agriculture sector. Yes, people are able to get loans. Civil servants are getting loans for equipment and fertilizers uh, to plant more crop on like maize and other crop to sell to increase our agriculture production. Those are welcome measures, but we need to do more. Um, what about my my aunt's farm in Shikatende? What does the government have for them? I mean, yes. Uh, I mean, and these small farmers are really the key in terms of the maize production in Zambia, because they're the people that grow more. Um, but the good news there is they're coming from an era where they would, supply their produce to FRA, Food Reserve Agency, and they wait months, if not years, to get a payment for their produce. And as a result, that affected their production, because these people rely on growing food for their immediate families, and then the surplus to sell, and then with the profits, realized, and they go back into the market and buy more seeds and fertilizer, and most of my people in Shikatende, they own cattle, so they will need to boost their livestock numbers like that. Um, so there's a lot. Now the difference is that you take your produce to FRA. You're either walking away with cash, or they'll give you a specific date to come and get your cash. There are no two ways about it. So those are the differences there. Um, and yeah, I mean, if you have title, you can get loan to expand your area of production um, that way. As before, even the little money that these guys appear. I'm sorry, I have to refer to them, but you know, um, whatever little money they used to, put in the sector, be wiped out by, you know, the who, the people upstairs, or the people with power, that money will be, diverted into their own pockets. So that's where we're coming from. I think one other issue that we forgot to mention socially, Batufia, reviewing the 3 years of the new Don government, is the peace that's in our streets.
Mm.
Yeah, we haven't seen any
Yeah.
pangas,
Oh yeah.
on our streets. I mean,
Mm.
president may have his own issues, but the idea that we have not seen any pangas on the streets, it's just a fresh of breath air to me, and because every time I'd call home, man, Batulufia, hearing to my people speak, or the ones that were being fired because because they had the wrong last name, or maybe they were not toiling the party lines. That for me actually was a motivation to get into the political field. It's not something that I never once in a million thought about. Coming from the background that I came, I come from professionally, but it was just listening to people back home saying, "Look, this has happened to me," or using Tonga on the Cairo Road. I was told I was on the phone with somebody in the village. Somebody dropped my phone. and say just because I was using the Tonga, I'm UPND or slap, all those talks made me to be where I am. But we have uh, people that have joined us, and how about we start with? Oh my goodness, I'm somebody I went to school with. Back on there, I'll come to you in just a moment. But let me just introduce this lady. Clotilda, my friend. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Fantastic. My friend, we are reviewing the 3 years of the new Dawn government. Any words there for you? You can, take it anyway. But I should say, nice to see you after a long time, Claude.
No, thank you
Welcome,
very
Clotilda.
much. Now, thank you.
Before you continue, I would like to welcome you to this beautiful
Okay.
podcast. Thank you very much for taking your time. Obviously, you're busy doing other stuff, but of course, you decided to come and join us. So thank you very much. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm happy. I've been always wishing to join this group, but thank God that today I've done it. Thank you.
Dalo back, Claude.
Okay, wait,
No, we're not
Karumba.
going to talk about what used to happen at school. We're just going to leave that alone.
Uh-oh.
Nah, nah.
Okay.
So anyway, we are reviewing 3 years of the new Dawn government. Where do you see it from your perspective? Politically, socially, economically,
Like as you,
anywhere.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Economically, yeah, economically, I think the 3 years so far, we are seeing some improvements somehow,
Okay.
especially us who live in the rural part of the country.
Well.
Uh, this year, because of the droughts, we're
Mm-hmm.
expecting a lot of hunger around here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the new Dawn government is helping. It has done a lot to the people in the villages.
Wow.
As I'm speaking now,
Mm-hmm.
our sheds, like Chikuni area, I've been there before.
Yeah, you
And
know
then
where
we
to
have a
do that.
Singonya somewhere there. We have a very big shed, and that shed is ever full of maize. People,
Mm-hmm.
those who have money, they're able to buy every week.
Oh,
And
that's good.
apart from that, those people who are very vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting some aid in different ways. For example, there's
Mm-hmm.
food for work,
That's
where
good.
one is supposed to work for only 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
just like clearing the roads
Okay.
and patching up potholes.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 days, they're given 50 kgs of maize.
Wow.
And also, we have cash transfer,
Mm-hmm.
where age people who are above 60, 65,
Mm-hmm.
they get 800 every after a month.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are breastfeeding are not married, they also get that amount.
Wow.
Apart from that, also those like the physically challenged people, mentally challenged, they also get money. So in the villages, somehow economically, the new Dawn government has done it, which is very good. And when you talk of socially,
Mm-hmm.
I think when I joined, I heard you talking about how the freedom of speech, also freedom of movement. This time, I think people are very free in the country to move around. You can use any language you want to use. No one will bully you. No one will say, "Who are you?" Nothing. So I think so far so good. Thank you.
Oh, Claude, how I wish Bakazia was here to hear this. Actually,
Yeah.
Wakazia is
Thank you.
busy enjoying because here in Canada it's in Labor Day weekend, so people are out there. Everybody's out. You know,
yeah, it's
playing.
Labor Day in the U.S. as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Labor Day in the U. I mean weekend. It's too as well. So we are out and
So that's good.
about. That's why
That's
you
good.
can't see my
Okay.
face. Eh? I
Oh,
was even
Mm.
saying we should. In the back of mind, actually, I was thinking we
uh,
should
Uh-huh.
cancel. We should cancel this podcast today because of Labor Day.
oh,
Oh, oh, so you on
Mwana,
Labor Day yourselves there?
Yes, it's Labor
you
Day.
should have, well, you should have said it, but you cannot just be saying it online now.
Oh yeah.
I
You
know.
can't
And
say that.
sometimes,
Mm.
when you commit
Malaki
yourself,
mwena moshadi abantu.
yes,
So
Lord, when you
anyway,
commit yourself. Anyway, let's bring in the man behind the brains of this podcast. He's here again this week. Oh, we so love the consistent this past 2 weeks. Back on me. Welcome back. And we are here reviewing the 3 years of the new Dawn government. Uh, your thoughts on that, on this topic? Oh, what is it? Malcolm, are you there? Okay, he will chip in at some point. So, but you say you want to come in and react to Claude's input on the 3 years of the new Dawn government from a rural perspective.
well, yeah, that's. In fact, that information is very good to have because what she has done is she's given us a different perspective that most people don't know or most people don't understand. Because in the villages, the people are able to appreciate what's happening or what they are receiving or what the benefit is in the last 3 years. Mutaoni is difficult, because people there, they
Mm-hmm.
always, they already have jobs, they already have homes, they already have everything.
Mm-hmm.
There it's a different concern. So we're looking at two different um, a spectrum of things. So Komoshi or
Mm-hmm.
in the rural areas, the people now are able to see it and touch it, and that's where the largest
Mm-hmm.
population is. So that was a
Mm-hmm.
smart move by the government to do that because I can tell you one thing: if the people in the villages are happy, then that's it. Us in town will may say, "Oh no, I need to light and everything and all that stuff," which is, or they can say that, which is very right. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, if you have Kumushi, one of our mothers, very odd, she can no longer farm. Her husband died long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. She lives alone in the house, but she's able to go and get social cash price. Okay, she gets $800 per month. That's good for her because she wouldn't have had it. Okay, it's in two. It's okwete mkumkubo. Okay, okay. A bird in the hand is better than two in the tree. So what the
Exactly.
current president is doing is saying like, look, lekeni mwe bantu bakwalesa abantu ba Muzambia especially let's enjoy indalama sha CDF because if we do
Mm-hmm.
not implement CDF properly, the only people that are going to appreciate it is in the modern towns. And that's why that's the reason, or the reasoning why Balapang is let's decentralize it and take it deep down into the people so that the people can be able to, this is in our constituency, people to reference, this is what it is. And then the members of parliament, councillors, and everybody, even the people in the church,
Mm-hmm.
they can say, kuno kumushiko twaikala kuno kwa Chirunda, no, there are people who are disabled. They know, the church would know the community. Because people go to pray.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the area, they'll say, no, in our area here, we've got 10 people that are disabled. What
Right.
can the current government help us? Help these people? They say, no. We've got an empowerment fund specifically for the disabled, physically, people who are not physically able, and everybody else. They fall in that class, and they're able to access that fund. So, which is a good thing, which was never ever been done before. So, I think in terms of success, that's a score. And
Mhm.
I mean, I believe like if somebody in the village is happy, then everywhere else in the country they're happy. Everybody will be happy because you can imagine only people in town are just happy, and then in the village people are not happy. Then there's a disconnect. That disconnect is what the current government and the current president said. No, no, no. They said, yeah, man, deep down in the villages, go and at least appreciate.
I
Yeah.
think, Patricia, let me just quickly come in. I think the disconnect here is that, I
Mm,
mean, you have a group of people in the cities, okay, who got used to the idea of tantamen,
mm,
okay?
mm, mm,
I
Mhm.
mean, these are known facts. You know, um, you go out there, use your phone, get a video in South HH using yeah, at the top of your lungs. You come back, we give you 50,000 kwacha.
mm,
I mean, we have those videos that we used to see people, in hotel rooms spreading money on the beds. Others were cooking
Mhm.
beans, with thousands of kwacha. People in the villages, from my mother's, in Lugualo, my father's in Shikatende, never had that chance. Okay, so that's where the
Mhm.
disconnect is. And so now you take away that ability to insult people to gain a kwacha, and because these people were so used to that lifestyle, like my dad would used to say that if you get used to quick money comes, quick money goes out. You don't plan for it,
God. Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
So that's where the stark difference is. And that's why, even to this date, you're going to find people who are going to come on social media to say, we are hungry, we're hungry. But the people
Yeah.
that are working, that are used to working every day, like Claude has said, they can they can see the vision, they can see the difference.
Mhm.
You know, like I said last time I came back from Zambia here a few months ago, and just for my own, because I always like to mingle with just about anybody. So, and the best way to do it is get on a taxi. But what I'm not gonna do, actually, don't look at me the other way.
mm,
What I'm not
mm,
gonna do is get on a public bus though.
mm.
So they tell me
For
that's
what?
the best. If you want to know about the politics of Zambia, you get on a bus.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, that's not okay.
Yeah, but that you never. That I'm not going to do. Reason best known to myself. But I'll get on a taxi and just random taxi, and just talk about and anybody and these taxi drivers. They'll tell you, because these people, they carry all kinds of people. They meet all kinds of people, and they told me, look, yeah, we know things are difficult right now, but we can see the difference, and we know that if I
Mhm.
put in so many hours, I know I'll get this much, and I'll be able to plan from that money. But before, I can put in so many hours, but guess what? I'll be sharing that money with either PF cutters, because they would stop you
Mhm.
at they'll stop you anywhere and then just demand, give us whatever you have. If you don't, they're telling you you cannot run your taxi out of this rank or elsewhere, and we'll make sure of that. So that's the difference. I just wanted to come on that one. When we're comparing life in the cities and life
Mhm.
in our rural areas. And Claude, you just bring in a very fresh perspective, because on this forum, oh, we hear how things are hard, things are hard, things are hard. You
Mhm.
go on social media, people are complaining. It's like it's the end of the world, or it's that movie
No.
Armageddon. Careful, absolute. Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, quick. Unfortunately, quick.
No,
Unfortunately,
no, actually, on the ground here in the villages, as we said,
Mm-hmm.
everyone is praising the new Dawn government. Things have changed for sure. The way he says it, to say it's a game changer, CDF is a game changer, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed. Because this year, had it not been for this government, I tell you, people are going to die because the drought really hit. But people are eating. No one is sleeping with on an empty stomach. No one. I can tell you that. People are happy despite whatever happened. They are just accepting to say it was a natural thing, and it had nothing to do with HH or the New Dawn government. And because of the way they've come in to help, I'm telling you, people are praising. If we had to have elections today, he
Mm-hmm.
can win, especially in the rural areas. He can get 100% win as we are right now. People are really appreciating the efforts the government is doing to alleviate this hunger which is around here. And when talk about this situation, it's not just about Southern Province. Since I'm in Southern Province, it's everywhere. As
mm,
Kalinda said, if you go in, like you go to Chipata, you
Mm-hmm.
go in the rural area. I was in Chama about 3 months ago. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same story which is here in Southern Province. So
mm.
I think so far so good. Mm, thank
Wow.
Right.
Wow, actually,
Yeah.
I have no words because sometimes
Yeah.
when we sit in
Whichever
what
Kobe Marajo Rolo is just
can't we
listening.
back Kobe? I don't know what's going on with our man here back Kobe. He's probably watching Barbara Banda somewhere. He's at the stadium in Orlando or something. Who
Oh, okay,
knows?
okay, okay. So
Barbara.
yeah, like what know, my sister like Clotilda said. Look, in the villages, people are appreciating. In the urban areas, people may not see it, but they are able to feel it in the sense that when you have a relative in the village, and all of a sudden they stop calling you to ask you for money, then you're like, "Ah, what's going
Mhm,
on?" You see? So you go and they say, no, no, no. Nowadays we're getting benefits from the government. Okay, these
mhm,
are the benefits that we're getting. So okay, yeah, yes, so now we're able because it relieves even the person who's living in the urban area. Say, oh, no, at least the current government. Then they have that thing in their mind. They say, wow, they're going in my village and they're offering this. Well, I think it's good. And now these are the same projects and programs uh, that happen in the developed world. But Zambia has started to lead it in a more professional and sustainable way from now going forward. Because in the past, believe it or not, around Zambia, it was all about akasaka, if a child.
Let's not go there. Let's
You know?
not go there. Let's not go there.
Well, well, it is what it is. We cannot forget about the things that happened.
Let's not get Kwakasaka Kandala, man. Let's not go there, please.
So,
At least this week,
so,
let's stay away. It's Labor Day.
so, people now can be able to say, look, no, I really, of course, my grandmother, she's very old, she can't do anything. The government is saying, look, grandma, here's something for you to sustain at least for a month. If she can be able to, because she doesn't have enough energy to obviously, go and farm, but at least you have something
Mm-hmm,
to go and buy some food,
mm-hmm.
okay, and take care of herself and her well-being.
mhm, mhm,
If you do have ever in the past, so that's a huge score. It's a huge, huge number one score. Huge. So, uh, looking at that and everything else, um, I don't know which other one I haven't talked about, but like I said, education, CDF, social cash transfer. mu 3 years kyonze temwakita. However, kutasha sometimes fintu fimbi kutasha because people would not appreciate it because maybe it's not benefiting you directly because in the Ramatalesh Monamavoko, because you were used, you're being given a bunch of money, so you're not seeing it in your hand. So it becomes sad for you. So now that the people of Zambia are saying, however, this CDF is actually working, this social cash transfer is actually working. Now we have all the sponsors on board. Other than how we were embarrassed in the past, okay, but in the Ramasha CDF, social transfer, Shaluba, nobody knew where the money was. Like, how possible is that? Like, how would the donors give you money and then you don't even know where that money is? But here, it's because it was diverted somewhere. But here we know, and the people are able to explain it and say,
Hmm. That's right. Yeah, I think we've spoken enough on this. Shall we move on? Move on to the next topic, Vachluffia. Let's quickly get on.
mm-hmm,
Finish up this show at least. I'm waiting on an hour and a half today.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go on to the next topic. And that topic is I call them Malanji's Moneybags Diaries. The ones that we picked up from the courts this week. We had somebody testify there, a key witness for the prosecution, tell us that 4.6 million. First of all, there was $4 million deposited into um, the accounts of the Zambian embassy in Turkey, and another 600,000. Malanji got I mean, this used to be just rumors, so they're basically turning out to be true. Um, yeah, Malanji was on a presidential plane. Oh, what did I tell you about Vakombi? But if
Mm,
you look at Vakombi,
mm.
what did I tell you about Vakombi?
Wanetamba bola. Why you say that
But
wanetamba bola?
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello. No, no, I apologize. I couldn't speak when you wanted me to contribute. I was driving with my grandkids, so
Oh.
I apologize. But thanks for having me.
Grandkids? What about the grandkids, Dala?
Of course,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
we're on the fifth floor. You started late.
You're right. Katushinga ni late kashinga ni right time.
Indeed.
Go
Anyway,
ahead, go ahead. You can
go
contribute, can
ahead,
tell us something.
Mr. Combe. We just finished reviewing the 3 years of the New Dawn, and we just had somebody who is in the rural areas actually giving HH an A+ for all the programs that he's introduced in terms of the cash transfer and the mitigating factors that are put in place in terms of this drought, the hunger. I don't know if you heard her speak. Uh,
I did.
yeah, your comment. I mean, you can take it from whichever angle you want to look at. When you look at the 3 years under review of the new dawn, do you give them a D+, A+?
Um, well, we've done a lot, and I'm very, very, very happy for what the president has been doing. I give actually I give them a B. I give them a B plus. I'll give them a B plus. They've really tried under the conditions the country is in. For what they've done is just it's an amazing thing.
Hmm.
And the president coming in talked about the economy and stabilizing the economy. He talked about unlocking Zambia itself. to the world and adjust to Zambia, fellow Zambians. I think he has done that. On that, he has scored an A, without a doubt. And these are the fruits we are seeing now, because in the beginning, people complained about the trips. They didn't understand why he had to go hop from one country to another. He had to reintroduce Zambia on the world market, on the world stage, and he did just that. So I'm very proud of what we've done, and I like what the lady spoke about. She talked about the cash transfers. Right now, about 2 weeks ago, there was mention of cash transfers. The amount being increased, which is
Right.
amazing.
Hmm.
As we know already, CDF, they want to increase CDF. Uh, I think in the next parliament they will try and push that when they present the budget. That's amazing, because it's because the president understands. When HH was candidate HH, he spoke about decentralizing the government, and he
Hmm.
has done that. And that's the reason why he believes so much in CDF. He wants the money to be in the constituencies.
Yeah.
Um, and I agree with the lady who spoke. Uh, right now, as we speak, rural areas actually have seen so much movement than urban areas. There's just a lot that's happening that's not being reported, and I wish our communication team really would just capitalize on that and just highlight the projects that are doing and the impact these programs are having on people in the constituencies. I think we haven't done very well when it comes to communication as UPND. They haven't really done so well. They can do better. They are capable of doing it, and I think these programs should be highlighted. The president is trying to reset everything. If you look at the load shedding problem, this is a regional problem. We had a big drought, we had a serious drought. All countries from Zambia going downwards have been affected. Okay. I know if we say everything is being done, people say, yeah, but we're having 18-hour load shedding, and it is true, but this is not something that the UPNDA just brought on the country.
Right.
And the president has really been working around things to make sure that next time we have a drought, we're not so much affected. That's the reason why you've seen things like projects like the solar plants in Itimpi, for
Hmm.
instance. So the president is patching all these holes. Look at the copper belt. Now the 22 constituencies are in play. All the 22 constituencies are in play. The mines are operating. The councils are working. People were not paid as far back as 2016 on the copper belt. Suppliers who supplied and have now been paid. So commerce is happening on the copper belt. All that is because of a visionary leader or like HH. So we have to be proud of what he's doing. There's so much that I think they can do better, but I think I give them a B. I give them a B. For the first 3 years, I think I give them a B.
Great. Great. For me, they have a C for right now.
Why are
They
you
have
laughing?
a C. They have
Why
a
are you laughing?
C. Yeah. I mean, it's a C plus. I mean, that's a good. It's a strong C plus. I think they could do better in terms of. Now, this is just that's a political spectrum side of things within the party, but I'm not gonna go in details with that for right now until when the time comes. Oh, Lady Sarah's here. What happened to her? I guess she disappeared. Shall we move?
My moderator, you've mentioned something. Can I go in just for 10 seconds, in and out? It
Okay.
excites me. The
All
reason
right.
why I give them a B, I think
Uh-huh.
we haven't done much when it comes to uh, the corruption cases.
Mhm.
They are a big disappointment.
Right.
Yes, it is very true. that we are recovering all these things from the people who store all these things. It's a great thing. But nobody's saving any jail term. That defeats the whole thing. We're not being told this guy is guilty, he's going to jail for so much. If we don't set those people as examples, even politicians who are in office today won't be scared of stealing because they know I'll steal 50 million. If they catch me, I'll give them back 20 and I'll be scot free. That is not justice. So I love what the president is doing, making sure that the judiciary is independent and they're doing their job. But people need to go to jail when they do wrong. You cannot take a person who steals in ShopRite. Uh, you parade them, you paint them, and you give them 6 years. And here's somebody who just brings back 25 million, and everybody says, go back home. Something is wrong somewhere. If you look at the jails today in Chimboka Island, all these prisons, even ours, if you had to do a documentary on uh, the cells that we have, find out what crimes those people committed or are accused of. It will surprise you. But some people stay in jail for a long time just for that. And yet you have people bringing back 10 million there, 5 million there, and they continue living. There's some people turn around that they're on TV trying to say, if we were guilty, why are we not in prison? They are challenging the government. So that act to me, I think it's a 2010 or 2015 act where they said, somebody can bring back whatever they steal. And
The forfeiture
that
act.
they gave themselves a leeway. That was a politician giving himself a safety net to say, hey, if I'm wrong and they catch me, I still survive. But regular people, ordinary people like us, we don't have that luxury. If I'm caught stealing 2,000 kwacha, they can jail me for 5 years, throw the keys, and nobody cares. The same thing should happen to politicians when they steal. So on corruption, I'm not very happy. I think they should go further. I know a certain family, I don't want to mention it, has lost almost 1 billion now in assets that was stashed in other places. And there's a lot of panic, but nobody has gone to jail for that. So I think on the issue of corruption,
Why?
really, the government should do something.
That's why I said I'm giving them a C plus. Concerning that. But let's bring in the new entrants. So we have a few guidelines. People, you wait for me to call your name before you speak. Otherwise, mute yourself. We are trying to reduce the noise in the background so that our viewers can hear us uh, clearly in terms of clarity. So, Lady Sarah, I see you. You've been out there trying to speak, and we were just winding up with reviewing the 3 A's of the New Dawn government in power. Your thoughts on that? They get a B from Mr. Combe. They have a C plus from me. I don't know what Bachlufia's grade is right now. Your thoughts first, Lady Sarah, and then we're going to go to Mr. Mwami himself. The man is back this week. Once again, Lady Sarah. Okay, she's probably still making herself a cup of tea. Mr. Himwami, the man, the mystery. Welcome
Welcome,
back.
welcome all of you.
Welcome
But
back, sir.
Thank you for being late.
I, I, I went to refresh my memories. I went to for a birthday party for my sister in London.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
She's
How old
growing
is she?
old. She's growing. We don't talk about numbers. She's growing old, but she doesn't want to disclose the age. Age is nothing but a
Okay.
number. Yes, here I am about the UPND government and the new dawn. They have done what the previous government failed to do. I would give them, I don't want grades, but I would give them 7 out of 10. I'm a teacher. 7 out of 10 is okay for me
Okay.
because of what we have seen, something we never saw. They have reversed some of the things which were announced in Parliament, like the student meal. That one was abolished and it was reinstated.
Hmm.
They recruited a record 30,000 teachers, which never happened in the previous governments. Kaunda in his government, I think it ran close to about 20,000 or so.
Hmm.
But at the go, they got 30,000 teachers. I think they need a plus on that one.
Hmm.
Then rule of law, at least it's there. There's some sanity. People are fearing. On the work of anti-corruption commission, they are leaving the big fish and just getting the small fish. I pity those teachers that were pinned over a 30,000 kwacha. Those cases, firstly, they have a fast track in court. But big fish cases, no. It takes too long at Jan, trial, what? Uh-uh. We need the Economic and Financial Crimes Court.
Yes.
If that can be given a proper funding. I know somewhere the funding is not adequate. Maybe that's why they're not doing their best. If they can fund those places, good, better. The dissolving of the Anti-Corruption Board, Anti-Corruption Commission Board, yes, came at the right time, but not all of those were bad eggs. There are some that were bad eggs. And those good eggs need to be brought back so that they continue what they stood for. It's very important. I yield.
Great. Moving on. Mr. Lakson Misevezi, please tell us where you are joining us from. We are discussing 3 years of the new Dawn government, and tell us your thoughts on that. Well, Mr. Misevezi ran away. Okay.
Watu wanavutuka.
Babu tukawacheke, Matt. All right. No, we don't bite
Wauma
Mr.
tepa.
We don't bite Mr. Benzi. Hopefully, you can come back and give us your view on that. Shall we now go on and speak on the testimony in the economics court this week on one Moneybacks presidential hopper. I don't know how to call it, describing anymore. The former Foreign Affairs Minister Malanji. I don't know if you guys have had time to look at this. Somebody's testifying on behalf of the prosecution.
The,
Where $4 million is deposited. Let's just say a total of 4.6 million today. It's siphoned out of that account from Turkey straight into Malanji's personal account in Zambia. And the very next day, Malanji is buying 12 high-end houses. And then he tells the Zambian government the embassy in Turkey is worth $14 million, which was an inflated price. 10.4 million it goes to his pocket, and he's using a presidential jet sanctioned by one ECL. I mean, we're not talking about the judgment. We're just talking about the evidence that was given to the courts. Now, here we can sit down and say, okay, and ask the new Dawn government, where they are getting 28 million for CDL. PF had 1 million. You have one person having access to a private jet, $10.4 million siphoned out of an embassy. The very next day, he's buying 12 high cost houses. And like you were saying about Kombe and Mr. Mwami, these are the people who are saying, uh, well, we are not corrupt.
Mhm.
Where's the evidence? I mean, it's sad. That's just one person. Hmm? We were on this podcast talking about Milungo returning 24 point something $1 million from KCM. Nobody told us, was that full amount? What else? What else has he not disclosed that we're not aware of?
His age.
Huh?
His age.
People. Your thoughts. Let's start
That
with
is
you.
it.
Let's start with you, Batufia.
Yeah, but Milanji, I think the thing is this. Um, this is in public domain. We all know that he went to Turkey. He was given specific instructions and specific duties to go to Turkey. And in the midst of that, he was given the private jet to go there
Gulf
and
Stream.
do that
Just say the
transaction.
Gulf Stream.
Yeah, downstream.
Gulf
Right? And he
Stream.
went there. So when he went there, we all know that Milanja at that point is, is under the umbrella of that immunity, where one, the plane cannot be searched. Okay, so those are the certain privileges that are with that kind of environment or arrangement. He goes there, they arrange between ECA one, so some ECA one called for ECO and the government of Turkey of a certain amount of money. Now, this amount of money was not deposited in the government coffers, but according to the information on the internet, according to what we know, it was carried on that private jet. So imagine this: a whole big government in a whole big country like Turkey coming into this kind of arrangement. I don't see something like that happening in this current institution, in this current government, just because it's very simple and very clear and very, very meticulous when it comes to businesses. If you want to come into business, if you want to donate money, there are certain ways in which you can do it. Now, it comes all the way back to Zambia with all this big amount of money in that claim. Who knows what else? Okay? So if you remember, Makamwidi at one point was even referring or touching to say, private jet is going to be a source of, I'm a drug barons to start moving money, clearing money, or moving drugs. He was in trouble for saying something like that, if you remember. You know? So here we are. Immediately after that trip, he bought himself cash, boom, Amayanda. Now people are saying like, oh, uh, he, well, his defense was a businessman, but according to business circles, people that were apparently know him, they're saying like, no, even if we had to calculate how much money he was earning, okay, as a member of parliament or as a minister, it cannot equate to the amount of wealth or amount of properties that he acquired within a short period of time, just after the Turkey trip. So just after the Turkey trip, bought a lot of property, cash money, not at all, but boom, say this, I want this building, this, boom, 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 boom. So that's where the argument is. You want to acquire this. So on that one, that's why I want to leave it, because it's already in public domain, and anybody can go and search about this information. It's there. In public domain, it's there. If you want, you can go and read and search.
Yes.
You'll find the same information that I'm saying right now. It's there on the internet.
Yes.
But it's not just the public. It's these are this is a government employee's testimony in court
Yes.
as of last Friday.
There is.
That just blows my mind that money can be deposited in a government account today, then it transferred over to Malanji's personal account the next day, and the very next day Malanji is buying, like you say, cash money, 12 high-cost houses in Zambia or in Lusaka. While UTH remained without drafts, while meal allowance or whatever allowance you can call it at the University of Zambia for students was withdrawn. These are things that we need to be talking about. I mean, it's no longer the rumor mill. This is evidence in court. Mr. Mwami, I know you have a lot to say.
I'm itching on that one.
Okay.
You know, what even makes the whole saga so bad about the techie houses that were bought at an inflated price? There was a death of a diplomat there.
That is my friend.
Correct.
Joseph Kilenji.
Correct. Under what circumstances did he die? I don't know whether I'm raising a Pandora's box or I'm just trying to rant or to Savaila, but yeah, we need to know what role he was. What was he doing there?
Malanji was ambassador of Turkey, Zambia's ambassador, High Commissioner in Turkey.
Yes, yes. And when such things were there, he was what were happening. He was the ambassador.
Yes, he was.
I want we can speculate. Maybe you know something. That's why he could have been. Maybe Katwichinga Bari Muipaya Ngabari. I don't know, but there was need to relate the death to what is being talked about now, and maybe we can get to know something. Honestly speaking, Silver Rest Gardens, I've been there. It's a posh place, hot houses. To buy 3 houses at a go, you must be a large fish, not just a big fish. It's happening at a time when the economy was generally bad. Even the company in Congo, where he says he owns it was not doing that much business to make him have all those monies. Did he declare the profits? Were they taxed so that it could benefit whatever government in Congo or here? And maybe no wonder that was easy money for him. He could splash it around, hence being called Mr. Bonanza. How did you even name a name, you even accept a name, Mr. Bonanza, over people's wealth? Surely. Bonanza, at least to feel what they are now, Bonanza. But this is how he was playing the country. inflating $10 million. And it's carried in sacks or cases. A driver is sent to go and collect it. Now, if that was a minister doing that, what other jobs did that? What other contraband did that Gulf Stream carry in the time my father was in power? What other contraband? What items did it move across the globe? Because we are talking about that same plane being under Zambia Air Force, right?
Right. Because that's
What?
who owns the Gulf Stream.
There's a lot that we don't know. Even that which is coming out from the deck man is just the tip of the iceberg. Because there's just no way things can happen like that. You cannot have a country that is a Christian nation, for that matter, behaving like that. No. You can't have things going up like that, because you come on the podium and say principles and values of the nation. You even go in parliament. These are the values that we espouse. These are the values that we espouse as Zambians. We want Zambians to behave like this, like that, like that, like that. But kunuma pamkukulu baleiva. And how do you just give us? I mean, 2016, it was God at work. I mean, 2021, it was God at work. God saw how Zambians were suffering and just said, puts an end to this. Had those people continued in power, that Gulf Stream would have made fortunes for many people. You can't have a nation. You're saying CDF, how much? 28 million. Yoshikatende Road, was it done?
No.
Price of fuel was up, and the subsidies were not paid.
$900 million there
was not paid. If they had paid something from that, we could have said they are committed, but look at that. And they were saying, no, let's work hard, Zambia, we have no money. The treasury is empty. When I'm told that the treasury is empty, it's just one way of telling us to keep quiet so that they steal more. From this revelation, there's a lot that happens behind the closed doors.
Right.
Civil servants given 2% salary increase. Kafaza, please, Lungu should never come back to power. No. This is not a school where he needs a third term. No. Ku school weka wafe third term kweka. Kwanza kwa wafe term 1 na term 2. President ni term 1 na term 2. Third term ni ku school. Ale ya ku school asambiri. No. I yield.
He's our former president, Mr. Mwami. Lady Sarah, I see you're back. I saw your pretty face a minute ago. And we are talking the Malanji's Techie Diaries. What's your comment on that? The revelations in court that millions.
For now,
They're just listening.
there's still so much, and there's nothing that happened. Then I said it was on that. I was saying Galama, Babalekerago, and so Nangulande to Shani. What's going on with the press?
Lady Sarah is upset, and she's got a right to be upset on that. Back on there. You want to come in on the Techie Diaries? No, he's busy with his
Diaries.
That's what I call them.
Diaries.
That's what I call
The
them.
Techie Diaries.
Techie Diaries. Yeah.
I like that one, the Techie Diaries.
That's what I call them, because
Taking.
A lot happened there. A lot.
Yes.
That was a lot. And
Mhm.
uh, just like Lady Sarah said, yeah, I mean, Zambians should be upset about such revelations. And when you see these leaders walk in their visiting these TV stations and giving interviews, I mean, I think on a ride on that, we just had Lusambo's lawyer in court. I mean, he new lawyer in court last week, ordering the court to dismiss his case, saying, the 6 months um, um, period that the case was supposed to be tried and, sentenced or finalized is way past the expiry date. So Lusambo should not answer any any verdict to that. Uh, and I think what I think when I saw that I checked in with my lawyer friends in Zambia. What to say there? In the new law will only apply to the new cases. Does not apply to the cases that started before this new law, of where people are supposed to be tried and convicted within a 6 month period. As far as corruption is concerned. That's why you see people like Davis Mwila can just send a lawyer to court and say, "Look, I'm sick in India. I can't come to court. GBM is too sick." Because those cases are still being tried under the old law. So is Lusambo's case. So I don't know what his lawyer or the new lawyer is trying to prove in this case, but we see where the ducks are going to land on that one. But we certainly I think we should continue following these cases to the ladder, because I need to see a conclusion, whether for or against. Like we followed the sausage lady's case. I mean, I know she appealed, but I'm happy she's at least serving a sentence. So is that Commander 2 from the what market is that, Mr. Mami? Help me. City Market? Muchema, which
City
market?
Mark.
Was it at City Market? Muchema.
Intercity bus terminus.
Intercity, yes.
Eh,
Yeah. So I mean, he was found guilty, sentenced to 3 years. I think that was a short sentence. He should have at least said 5 years, but even with that, he's still trying to appeal. All right, unless if people have anything to say on that, shall we move on to the next topic? Which is that topic that we need to talk about today? Actually, Fia, where are we with
Well,
that?
yeah, well, just on that, I
Uh,
think that's an add-on.
yes.
Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that there's the ECL was using proxies to gain his money or to amount the kind of sometimes in that foolish. If you don't matampo kupera kwa manises, matampo kupera my cousins, matampo kupera my friends, because in
Slay
Piachaf,
Queen,
that's that.
Slay Queen, Slay Queen.
I'm a slave queen. In the Ramasha,
I'm a divas.
hey, so all these things now it has come to our attention that now by territory, okay, a certain amount of money coming from the armor proxies that they were using.
Coming from where, Battlefield?
Now proxies, proxies, like
Oh, yes, of course.
like Tema divas, those are proxies. Like look, if you have money, okay, let me just say, let's give an example. Na ninkwatenda lama, but shishi wako kwa kushitwala, okay, alanda vakalinda thinki nalamisula saluni, okay, And then what about the saloon? It's very success. It makes a lot of money. Like if you look at the saloon itself, it's a very small saloon, but the amount of money that it has in terms of its liquidity and in the bank. When talking about that, but so they become suspicious. There's no way this small little thing can be accumulating this kind of amount of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So they were cleaning up their money by using proxies. Even businesses, they would open them up, but political background, we know who it is, but him, they would come, they would bid. Air bidding, they would bid air. Okay? So
Supply air.
very, they would supply air. So that's what it offers. So it has been reviewed now. Everybody can see now. It's like, oh wow, this is what was happening. Because they were using proxies. So, but in any case,
But where are
we
these
shall
people?
always.
If you can hear me, use me as your proxy, please. Don't open a saloon for me. Wait. Don't want a saloon, me, no.
What about Salunio is worth $5 million? But this one was.
Wait. No, I want a huge chunk of land in Kusowezi or Zambezi. Like, give me 30,000 hectares or 100,000. Buy me that.
Mm, mm, mm.
Eh? That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So that's what it was. I mean, they used a lot of proxies, and you'll find that the real person behind the business is a high-profile person, very high profile. Emuntu mwinyi. But because he doesn't want his name to be there, he would use his brother, his cousin, his friend, his all that stuff. You know, and those are the people that he would use to open up all those businesses, open up all these things, buy all these properties.
Yes. Yes.
And then
And
every home parasi, fyapenda mu family as an army, ile bansungishye fyendala. Banjeberenje sunga endala ne. And then indaba nga bakupera wasa walia. And then wali endala manze basa bakusuing. Like, are you seriously? You're suing your family for what? Ali endala mashode. Ishakwiba. Because you use that person as a proxy. Mdala
mm,
wa.
mm.
Kote washe kadoko.
You know, can I chip in there?
Come in.
You see, when we look at the word proxy, you may think it's a very bad word. I'm a shareholder with Zambia Sugar, Nakambala Sugar. I used my son to go and attend a meeting, an AGM for me on my behalf. So he was a proxy. Look at that cause, a genuine cause. Shareholder, you send your son to go and attend the meeting on your behalf. Airport number, where I would say proxy is good. Now, here is someone getting state money, using someone else as a front. Let's be serious. Imani shina muchula. Kamulesanga nendala mesha kwana wa proxy vene vale China no China. It just doesn't make sense. For proxy, obviously, evale swamu, evale diamu. Can one proxy just be one proxy? Is it possible? Proxy naona kwata proxy wako. Kile queen na kwata na umbi. How many proxies? Are you just talking of one proxy, my one twin? These things have a multiplier effect. But and I think na mwishe kunde anangana na multiplier effect.
Of course.
Varibanga. We cannot just talk about one proxy here. If you have one proxy nifikana. Maybe there are even 10. What maybe no akuonyesha fama paper maybe I'm moving up papers from one office to another one to just make sure that no one is seen. office kuli watte supply air kwayo mwana kashi waya mukusenda mapepa kwayo mwaume. The next from one office to another umukala jewa yako. How are you going to know the big fish? No one. So look at the number. Proxy, let's not just think of one person. There are many involved. So it was a blessing. Proxy. Slay Queen. Can the Slay Queens also come out? Valelanda tawe endalama yashimbe shotwale elia. Teshesu now, and we hear they have left Salama Park. Eko vale renting amayanda ya dola. Nava few kako. Balandlord vale kwa mndalama no mendalama nashipo. Oh, the net is slowly closing in for those that were living large. You can't live large in a poor economy like that of Zambia. It's not possible. You must be working very hard for you to live large. Now, those that were working very hard were not managed to living large. They were suffering taxes everywhere. Is the life basile Queen Fefin alepenta femilo mone nkopyo na bafunya so. Ayo kutomona kwati bene fin fair bendera buno kanshi. You baleko but no, go and work hard. Work hard.
I take strong exception to that. Slave queens, I mean, they work hard, please.
What time?
You know, putting
What time do they work hard?
makeup, if they work hard,
What time do they work hard, G?
getting
What
their
time?
hair
What time?
done, making
What
sure
time of the day?
that's work hard. They work hard
What time of the day?
in their profession. During the day, during at
Or
night.
in their oldest doing their oldest profession, huh? Yeah, I can understand.
During the day, they go to salons. They have to get their hair done, nails done.
Doing their oldest profession, I understand you.
All right, we're not going there. Shall we move on now? Shall we move on?
What and about
Right.
President PS
Jesus
now.
Christ. I
Eh?
know he's enjoying his holiday. He
Oh,
told me, I was talking to him the other night, and he told
okay.
me, Chanda,
No, Jim Thinker is not here. He's on holiday. He's actually driving right now.
he's on holiday. So
Yeah.
he's like, so we have,
All right.
he's busy with the family.
Okay.
So,
Let's move on now to the next topic that we briefly talked about. And this is the construction of that 300 megawatt substation in Tunduma, Tanzania, to be used as a connector to transport power from Tanzania to Zambia. Um, this week, we saw uh, the information PS actually visiting that area and just showing to us the work being done. Finally, things are happening. I know this also coincides with ZESCO announcing that Zambia this month, residents and businesses are only getting 3 hours of electricity a day. Gentlemen,
maybe I share my right.
3 hours.
Yeah, I think, um, first and foremost, uh, I would like to say one thing. For the people of Zambia, uh, this is not intentional, okay? And there's no way in hell that the current government would do something like this intentionally and deprive the people of Zambia with the electricity that nature has. So, Ilya Shiyamba it's been something that should have been sorted out many, many years ago. But what can we do? What can we say? Right? Zambia heavily depends on hydro. 90% of our electricity, in fact, 99%, hydro. Okay? So we're saying, like, look, We've needed to have changed, to have shifted how we think and how we'll be looking at things in the next 50, 20, 40, 50, 100 years from now. Kariba Dam was built. Where was it built? In the 60s. Okay? At that point in time, look at what the population was and look at what the population is now. Nothing has happened since Kariba Dam. Even the way it was built at that, you know, at that pace, and as well as at that, level at that time. But today, the world is moving and it's evolving at a very, very fast pace and rate. So, what we need to understand is, okay, there was Kaunda, they're still working on Kariba Dam. Then there was the next government that came in was the MMD. They never, well, maybe they did, who knows, looked at the possibilities of coming up with a strategy that can say, look, can we up what we have now for the next 21st century? I highly doubt it if they were thinking on those levels. Everything was, business as usual. From there, Pastor Kwaisa appeared, they even became worse. They had no idea. Okay? Vasa Tavashkuru, when he died, he had so many brilliant ideas, and some of them were implemented, some of them were discussed. But people were not looking at the energy sector. People were just looking at the building, instead of building their name. Okay? So that's where the problem was. If people would have sat down to say, I think energy is something we need to sit down and discuss. Because we cannot be running a 21st century economy on a 1960 infrastructure. Believe it or not, that dam was built in the 60s. Even the technology they use to build it is not the technology that you would use to build a modern day dam today. Guys, let's just think about this. If the dam itself is, I mean, look, here where we live, 60%, 60%, okay, of power in Canada is hydro. Believe it or not, 60%. The rest is a mixed. It's mixed. So meaning I'm a solar and if you 60%. But nishamona kwa balaiti ya February with load shedding. Because why? They've managed it and they're thinking ahead all the time. Because as an economy grows, you also have to think about it, how we're going to expand in terms of your energy sectors and stuff like that. If we've been told northern circuit is the highest, has the highest rain, why are we not tapping into that? Why are we not tapping into that? Zesco was a company that was evolving into the 21st century. They would have already at now have invested their money instead of importing. Get that money, start investing into solar, and start investing into wind. You've got $1 billion. You want to import $1 billion worth of what's this electricity from a different country. Instead of taking that money and you build your own, like your own, Zesco, your electricity supplier of the country, start thinking on top of your head. A problem three, because we maybe I don't understand it, because I think in my thinking I was like, we have a lot of people about Kalamba that have been in this industry, that have been in these institutions for so long. They need to give chance to young people to bring new ideas, because that's how we've been losing all this industry. Because when an industry is becoming old, you need to bring in new ideas. Because if the old people that are still there, that have been there for 60 years, like, what new idea are you going to bring? What new idea are you going to present? I hear it.
Right, 10 minutes left, people. We need to wind up on a right 2 hour. Not today. It's a holiday. Mr. Mani, you want to comment on the new substation
Nachi-
in Tunduma?
Nachira kumbwa. Nachira kumbwa. I was admiring when I was coming from on my way from London to Birmingham. Mwanyu wawele chipagapaga. Chipagapaga. You heard about that chipagapaga?
Windmill, yes.
Aha. In olden times, there used to be windmill for water.
Yes.
What happened to those things?
They went with UNIP.
Ah, there you go. Don't be political, you. You see, I saw the beauty of those the windmills just turning, and then they generate power for the British. Yes, I can understand in Zambia we don't have those strong winds that can turn those windmills, but we have abundant sunshine. And where there's abundant sunshine, why should we suffer amidst plenty, surely? Bakateka balalanda polyons, suffering amidst plenty. Imagine the sunshine that is there in abundance. Before we even think of harvesting the water, why don't we harvest the sun? It can make us have a lot of megawatts for power. Solar farms. There's a lot of land which is idle in Zambia that can be used to make solar farms. And when those solar farms are made, this load shedding can be a thing of the past. The sun is abundant if we can make use of it. I hope abakuze sikukulya bale kutika koko. Are you?
Right, right. I think for me, I see hope. I see where we're going. I see this government, um, um, basically um, doing everything right to get our energy deficit uh, uh, taken care of once and for all. I think by the time the next drought hits us, at that point, I see the 2,000 megawatts of solar coming from the Saudis up and running. I see that Tunduma sub connector, which is hydro, ready to go. I see the $300 million that we owe the Mozambican power company that supposed to give us hydropower through there also taken care of. I see the Angola's power connector with us is ready. I know they were testing it this week. And I see, I think there was an announcement this week where I think three companies with some Chinese, they announced a joint venture of harvesting water from Rapula into Kariba. That has set sail this week. So there's a lot of innovations coming into the power industry, and of course our small scale, personal levels that will be feeding into our Zesco um, power um, up and running. I mean, some people actually, there was an announcement this week, I think, by the Minister of Energy, where he said about 162 small scale solar um, residential owners feeding power into ZESCO. So let's see how that goes. So I think this government is firing in all cylinders. They're just not sitting on their laurels. Um, so we just have to hope and pray that things go our way. And hey, finally the rains have started in Zambia. We saw a video of rain in Mbala. We also saw, I think, some thunderstorms in Lusaka this week, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody told me about that. I could be wrong. But yeah, we are firing in all cylinders. But, Sarah, we're talking about 3 hour load shedding in Zambia and the new innovation that's coming into the sector. Your comment. I can see you driving, Lady Sarah.
Yeah, as usual. This is America.
No, sis,
Yeah,
the struggle is real. We got to do what we gotta do.
yeah, I know. So yeah, for me, this yeah, when you talk to our people back home, they are saying it's too much load shedding. But our able president is doing something with all that which you have mentioned, Sister Kalinda. I think things gonna improve. The only
Yeah.
thing that we have with our people is that they forget so easily what they were going through when the people's fault was in power. You know, the
Yes.
people's fault. You know, so these people back home, our people, it's not like load shedding takwali mwebantu. Eh? Even long time, even during the
No,
people's
the
fault.
difference is that we had load shedding in Zambia up to 17 hours, even when water was plenty in the Caribbean. That's the difference.
Yeah, it's true. You know, so what I'm trying to say is that they should not lose hope. There is no need of losing hope in Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's, presidency. We shouldn't lose hope over just the little thing of load shedding. You know, things will be okay. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and more lights. People will be celebrating. This load shedding is all over. My niece is in South Africa. She talks about load shedding, you know. So who are we not to have load shedding?
Baby, tell them, sis, tell them.
Yeah. So in South Africa they're having load shedding, in Malawi load shedding, everywhere there's load shedding. Now for you people, just that load shedding, fiachilamo, which one for what? Eh? Awele mukuza load shedding, ewala panga menshi, ala
Tell them, sis.
ni Yesu, mukwai. Ivyo vyakola chalebwelela kwa inenda ufana useluselu. Alebwelela. As if nikatapati mwalatu mwana ichiro. Come on. Let's be hopeful. Let's be hopeful. This Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, he means well. You people of Zambia, you like celebrating people are making you miserable. You know? Abantu bali kwa omuntu kwata 67 yotoka muyati kwaliba. Why?
Mwana uli.
Ero mlenda chalebwelela bo load shedding venga watumina phone. Yeah, ili pa 60% pa 6% wachila bokuta charge when amala itoko yachiba. Wala bokuta charge uli busy kwamba ba HH. That's why ulela bilokuta charge phone ulwambo leamba fe ba HH mlemba fyakasuba mlelanda fe. Yawe. Imwe. Mwila losing hope na bakabola ala bomrefu okubwesha ero mukachulisha sana bakala myuma mumfi gasingika badabo. Bye.
Ala mwandi inalipata mabulis. Ebo napata ama bullies. People that you bully, the people of Zambia around. Chimo chene no even US, Donald Trump is a bully. So that being said,
Yeah, leave Donald Trump to us. We are sorting him up in November. Leave him.
okay.
We
All
are
right,
with her.
I went
We
there and
are
I
with
coffee,
her.
but
We are with her. We are sorting that man, and you never
okay,
come back. If I
okay.
can,
So
I'm Americans. The more I was in Vegas. The Uber
mm,
drivers that we booked, five of them, once about them for you in Mlelumbula. Well, that we know
eh,
what you touch Bokula saved.
eh,
So, you cannot even compare that thief of ours to this one. Even in the
no, 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 no,
people in
no,
Zambia.
no. You are not that's different. Anyway, but my point was this: avena and can avena ECL, okay? ECL na abantu back. They've given us in fact, what they're trying to do is this: ukwa, ukwa. It's more like an organization here, Kavati. All they do is push traffic on them, okay? And it's being, bankrolled by one ECL. So the organization here, it's a very sad situation because I went to Arena Mzambia. They're not going to listen, and they're not going to understand, or they're not going to have an alternative. Because opposition, what's the main point of having opposition? Opposition kusta nani kane kusta kupela ma checks and balances. Okay, I've never katwishi mwe bantu katushinga nga mulatamba TV mbyo internet mbyo kisha munapo ba ukwa balanda alternative ya kwe but awe ivi file stikapa ifyo tuwalata so kisha ukwa po kisha ukwa katwi anchihive imindesa baida kisha ukwa po alternative I've never heard. So what are we talking about? And you're a big man with a lot of what do we call it? Money that you get. How can you come up kukwevo mwine Zambia? Mwaya kushango mbogolia mwaya kusakwa me, I want to come back as a president.
oh,
Now,
but Lucia, oh, quite. We had my friend in Southern Province who just came on here and gave us some very good news from the ground, people in the villages, and
yeah, oh, yes, yes,
the
yeah,
majority
yeah.
of people live in villages, not in town.
Mm, 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 mm.
Huh?
No,
So
so that's
Ukwa and the Balungu should go to those people in the village and tell them, oh, by the way, if Isip Mwalipo wants to them me up.
mm-hmm,
That's a message he needs to be taking. And whenever no Shalapo, you have to sing PF.
mm-hmm.
Uh, and if you don't sing PF, PF, and we are reducing the amount you are getting from. They're getting now, I think, 800, almost 1,000. But they will bring it down to 300 or 250, where the UPND found the FISIP. You tell him that's because that's the message you'll be taking to those people in the village and see if those villages are going to give him that vote. Eh?
No, that I 100% doubt that.
Yeah,
And and 100% doubt
yeah,
that.
and you
Now,
tell Esau to go and hold a rally kudakunan pa unza palia and tell those students we are coming back to take back your meal allowance.
he
Eh?
can't.
Or
He can't.
CBU. Cause I mean nangu mutano mumwini akayepala ku CBU because the reception HH gets from CBU nangu unza and that other Evelyn Horn Mulungushi University, where these other public institutions their students are now getting
Yeah.
meal
Uh-huh.
allowances, which they never used to in PF's lifetime. You should go back.
Ask me one thing. Ask me
Yeah,
one thing over that
you,
issue you're talking about.
yeah.
Ask
Talk to
me,
us,
ask
Mr.
me,
Mami. You know about it.
ask me,
Yeah.
ask me that. Okay, it's not an accusation. I'm a happy parent where I am here.
Yes.
I was,
Talk to
sup-
us.
I was supposed to have given my boy ration money the other week. HH paid him the meal allowance, so I
On
can divert that
time.
other money. I can
On
divert that
time.
money
And on
to
time.
go and buy fertilizer.
Yes. And
Simple.
the students are
And
getting paid on
if
time.
in fact,
Since this government came in,
if I
you tell me when those students you saw them
if I
Mundane, Great East
if
Road
I
chanting pay us our meal allowance.
if I find my boy voting for them, it should cease to be my child.
Mr. Mami, that's
He
going.
can't do that. These
No,
children are well informed, you know.
yeah,
We are
good.
dealing with well-informed children, and you cannot stand there bullying our church in case of Mpoka Miwa allowance. He's a bully. Lungu is a bully. God is not
Mm,
a bully. God. I don't know. I need someone to tell me how he was growing. He's a bully. How do you start bullying our church in case of Mpoka Miwa allowance? He would never would, yeah. But
mm,
Lungu doesn't mean well for the people of Zambia. I've always said that. He doesn't mean well. He says that I'm coming back to protect my family. That's why he wants to come back, not the people of Zambia. Now you, the people of Zambia, you are not even a cousin to Lungu. You are not even an in-law to Lungu. I'm sorry, it's not like I'm being tribal. But you know, will be set. Niba wiso, niba anko bobe, bakuchite
mm.
protect. Please, people of Zambia, be mindful. You know, don't lose hope in Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. He means well.
Yes, Lady Sarah has spoken. So now let's go to the final topic. The topic is my favorite minister's new announcement. Jack Hunyamwimbu came out last week and told everybody to play nice on these streets of social media. That if you have, promoting hate speech or on your social media handles like Facebook, WhatsApp, he's coming for you. He's going to invoke the cybersecurity bill of 2021, and we saw the civil rights movement in Zambia is just losing their mind.
Yes, I knew. What did I knew?
They lost their mind on
When
that
was the
announcement.
when was this cybersecurity thing passed?
2021.
Towards which in the MMD, UPND government or PF government?
It's a PF. It's a
It
cybersecurity
was,
under the PF.
yeah, I think that was 2020, 2016.
No, it's 2021. It was revised in 2021.
Yeah, and you see, they meant to keep those that were against us, against them.
That's correct. Now it's coming to bite their. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was going the other way. Continue.
You see, the law is blind. The law is blind. In case Jack does not know, because they will use the same WhatsApp group for their campaigns. They are in many WhatsApp. Some of them are even administrators in the WhatsApp groups. Information that goes in WhatsApp group sometimes is sometimes if it means to assassinate someone's character, that is bad. If it amount to hate speech, it's bad. The law should be there to curb those that are breaking it. If in this group someone will break the law, let them pay for that. We need some decency at least. But they will certainly not persecute someone who is spreading the truth regarding the underdevelopment on CDF maybe talking about the current corruption. I hope that's not what they're meant to do. If it is meant to silence those with the dissenting views, then it's not okay because people need to speak. You know why we have got brains? Pachanda.
Hmm.
Do you know why we have the brains? Is
Why do I have brain?
in order to ask questions.
Okay.
In order for us to ask questions. That's a major reason we've got brains. And if we shall not ask questions, then I don't know what is. Does it mean we know everything? No. So
Yeah.
if they are meant to keep the dissenting views, those views that are against them, then they have missed it. But if it's for the good of the country, it's fine.
Mm, 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 mm.
I
Yeah.
yield.
Actually, if you're coming,
What? Look. What our brother Ramasha is saying. It's a very valid and important point because as a Zambians, we need to understand and not only understand. In fact, what we need to do is through people like Avena Mash and all these educators, okay, in the forefront, while we're evolving, having that evolution, because Zambia right now stands at a place where we are at the core center of changing history. And, like the UPND government right now is that is in the middle of it. And it will be how we'll be able to grasp and implement what we need to implement that's going to make us either successful or unsuccessful. But I can tell you, like, there's no way right now, as I speak, Zambia is the biggest in terms of development in Africa. And we've set trends. Like people are learning from this current government. This current government, people are studying it. They're studying it. Believe it or not. And most economies of Africa are saying, why don't we take a lead from that? Right now, the president is in China. And the issue of electricity is going to be a thing of the past. He's been visiting all these major, huge manufacturing um, plants. Okay? These are the people that you can go to when we're talking about alternative energies. He visited, I think one or two or two of the largest, and he said like, if we Mozambique, this is what we do. We need to bring the same technology and bring it in Zambia. Now, imagine this. Avena Zambia. If we're high, the situation that we're in, guys, I want to mention his name. It would have been a very bad situation because he wouldn't have the kind of knowledge and the kind of, you know, he wouldn't think about ahead. So, I think we see. Let's just wait and see. What we're looking at is this. While he's there, he's negotiating, believe it or not. They, China, because there's a conference right now going on. In fact, it finished today. China is going to build three major milling plants Three, it will be a joint venture. Believe it or not, it will be a joint venture. And what's going to happen there? It would mean that there will be more investment in the agriculture. Next, budget of parliament, it will be more money in the agriculture sector because as Zambians, as a country, we're coming to no. China, guys, what are coming with this technology? So that's one thing he went there for, to see the technology. If you watched his the video, the trip that when he went, where was it? For all his clients, like, wow, this is the technology that we need in Zambia. Ni technology, but into change, yeah, that's change, But we've never had that opportunity. We've never had that privilege uh, for anybody that was in before HH to be
Hi,
able
Timothy.
to.
Are we talking about the cybersecurity bill? Where are we? You've lost me.
Oh, okay.
Now, Pitakari.
Nchirafika konoko.
Hello, Bachirufia Mike, yo, Babomfia. You know, don't say I have to put the volume for me to hear. I think you sometimes you are away from a little bit away from the mic. You're not very clear like the others.
Okay, does everybody wants for one for?
Much better now.
Yeah, apaya chenjera.
Oh, yeah, change it.
Eh,
Mama, I'm
So
not the
anyway,
only one. It's not like very projected, like clear, like the
uh,
others.
yeah,
Like we have to add volume when you are speaking. So I think your mic, mlaba away from it.
iliyofika shanya.
Apa mle mfui kakatuish mwapanga magic.
That's imagine. And so okay, so you're able to understand your Kondela. Now, my point was this. I just summarize it in total. Lekeni, President Rafmi ku China, because he's in China right now. I think he's coming back today. Ngabafika ku China kuja, he sat down with his counterpart and we are saying like, look, we need to bring amanani kanama, all these big industries back online. And we've already done that. And I can tell you one thing. So, ngafika ku Zesco. Zesco, what I'm saying is they want to build three. They want to build they want to install genset, market.
Well, Chanda, we are talking about the cybersecurity now.
kauja moyo. Karibu.
Okay. Cyber security?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're talking about.
Oh,
I don't know why you forgot it
all right.
by the time you forgot it.
Yeah, no, the cyber security, yeah, that bill was good and everything, and I think people need to, to tone down and everything. I think we know that a lot of people have been saying bad things about the current government, and you know, it's just a matter of time that people, the law will catch up to them. So, if you hear cybersecurity, to me, I don't think it's really like a big deal, but we have seen people going to prison or going to save some sort of sentence. We've seen young people, different young people, and we've seen people that, like, I can give an example of a young boy. I forget his name, but he was there insulting the president almost every day. So he was insulting the president every day. The also and then the law caught up to him. But we need to have the technology. Okay, that's why I think maybe I digress a little bit, but we need to have technology for us to understand and to know and pinpoint who's doing this. because if we put that, the law itself is good, but if we don't have the technology, then we're a little bit behind. And you find all these people, they'll be laughing at us. Okay? So they'll be laughing at us. Oh, if got this law in place, me, I can go online and do whatever I want, and nothing's going to happen to me. Okay? So these are the things that we need to understand, and we need to pinpoint and say, everyone, if you do something like this, the law will catch up to you. Because that's not right, and that's against the laws and stuff
Tamle ufika
like
futhi wachilufi.
that. Landeni kanshi nevalekani.
Mulebo mfe wachilufi abasera.
Just a little bit, so I'm getting used.
Nalekani, that's where I ain't. You guys can go ahead.
Yeah, apparently Africa. Somehow, I think it's just a projection of your mind. Can you use it like there are certain
Yeah.
places Africa, Africa. So
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm doing so many things. So anyway, I'm saying, lekeni, abana kwatavela nanikani, all those young boys, let them do what they do, but the law will catch up to them. And the law has catch up to most around to in that area in terms of cybersecurity. And if you look at cybersecurity, it's one of those laws where the what takes intuitively, the law will come and knock on the door, and we should not give the chance to Iran to just to give chance to come and insult our president. Who are you? Why are you insulting the president? Okay, so that's my point. So I don't know, Vakalinda, if you want to come in.
Lady Sarah, you want to come in and talk about the cybersecurity law that Minister Mr. Jack Chihunyamwimbu has
Ah,
threatened to
okay.
invoke
For
to
me,
deal with these people who are out here insulting or promoting hate speech on social media.
yeah, it's just laughable, man. Because that cyber thing, does it even work, Webantu? Okay, like for example, I saw something like where a young man was like with a plug, a lady, shanya, parishanya. Is that part of cyberbullying, whatever?
Which young man? What was he doing?
He was protesting. He had a placard with the picture of the president, and I heard that very much.
Maybe
I mean,
maybe it
Oh,
was just
beautiful.
gotten to be kept safe.
I
A
don't.
safekeeping.
I think it's for me. The way I would see that work would be these
So
kids who are out.
let me finish,
Yeah,
sister.
go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
what I'm trying to say is that is it even necessary? Because sometimes you find that somebody's just saying the truth, and they take it. I'm a politicians like somebody's doing hate speech. We know there is hate speech, but how thorough is to determine that this is hate speech and this is not hate speech? How are they going to measure what is hate speech and what is not hate speech? Because when somebody is just complaining like over load shedding and the economy itself, you find that I don't know if that cyber thing was applied to that. So my question is, how are they going to determine that this is hate speech and this is not hate speech? You know, because in that's not hate speech. But maybe if I start insulting, maybe. But if people are just like talking about what is happening, I think that that law cannot, touch them. That's what I can say. Thank you.
All right. I think the law itself is being misunderstood. The way I see it is this: if I come on here and complain, like Lady Sarah just said, "Oh no, things are hard. I can't I can't meet my daily needs, or what is this government doing? That's fine. But if I come out here, like we see these kids. There was this video this last week I saw. I don't know whether he's in the copper belt. He stood in front of some kind of unfinished house and just went on in palatables against the president. I think the cybersecurity, bill should
That
come there. The,
that's where it is needed.
yeah,
That
that's
boy,
where it's needed. You
that
know,
boy.
yeah,
Mm.
or the other people who are coming every day on here and talking about, well, yeah, that Lemfayo, he thinks he's ale teke ngombe. You know what?
Yeah, yeah,
we know what that means. You know,
yeah.
that's hate speech right there.
I don't like that kind of speech. I don't
You
like
know,
that kind of talk.
they'll come out here. Yeah, if take ngombe. This is take ngombe. That's hate speech because we know the reference to that. People like Benet Fatali use that kind of language sometimes. That's where that applies. But if you're just out here and talking normally, I don't think that cybersecurity bill will touch you. So until we see it happening, I think for me, some of the language on social media, we really need to take a look at it because it's small little nitpicks like that spread like wildfire. It happened in Rwanda. Somebody went on radio and started describing the other tribe as cockroaches. And guess what we have now is millions of people dead. So I think if they use that security bill or cyber security bill well, we need people that will, even when you are saying you are not for the government, mind your language, because nobody wants to be sitting through insults or references into animals or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Although
having said that, Sis Kalinda, I think how are we going to deal with people like they're in diaspora and they take advantage of insulting the president? You know, like we've seen, like people they're in diaspora taking that kind of boy insulting, talking rubbish about the president. That is, yeah, it's true. That is cyber. I mean, cyber, law can touch them. But how are we going to do that? Because they take advantage of where they are, thinking tabamufikeko. So I feel like the embassy should be given something like where they can call that person because the embassy, like wherever we are, I'm in America, Chibambakanyama should know where I'm living and what I'm doing. And if I'm doing something wrong, I should be approached, you know,
Mm, mm.
because this is just too much where these young people, a father figure being insulted in that manner. I mean, it's uncalled for. Why can't you just air your views and people will listen to you, what you're talking about?
I think even about our sector, they're just too lazy. I mean, people like that, at what time they've been telling you are coming live. You don't even need to talk to him. You just chunk his network from all over Zambia because his target is Zambia, right? There's a way you can just shut his broadcast. He can broadcast everywhere else, but not in Zambia because he's
Yeah, well,
he's there.
but the internet, the problem with the internet is difficult. And like if somebody is like here overseas, people watch it anyway.
Well, they watch
It's
it
hard.
anyway, but
It's hard to control it.
it may
It's hard
be
to
hard,
control
but
it.
his target is about Zambia. His target is Zambia. You
Yeah,
know,
well, but is airing he's airing his views overseas,
yeah, you
meaning
can block his
yeah,
IP address, so his broadcast is not done in Zambia. I mean, people out here can see, but the thing is, he will need people out here to actually connecting to Zambia. So once you block his IP address, he's done in. Because
So that's a little bit hard.
no, that's
A
what Victor
little,
needs to do. That's their
yeah,
job.
I think the only thing what Victor can do is, I think what the government should do is
I
let
mean,
individuals.
if Twitter can ban I mean not Donald Trump, certainly Victor can do it. Ban or maybe they don't know
No,
how
but
to talk.
Victor don't own a Twitter, or they don't
No,
own
they
the.
don't, but they can block his IP address. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. His
Yeah,
IP
I think
address can be blocked.
but they can just wake up and do another one. You
Yeah,
know.
keep blocking him. That's your job. You can just have he went to over every day. Block this fellow until a message reaches to him. Or like Lady Sarah is saying, if those people are in Turkey are able to find him, approach him and have a conversation with him. I mean,
I
nobody
don't.
is saying he shouldn't castigate the government. He needs to do it. But you are not going to come out there and insult the head of his state quite in Munove.
Mhm.
You're not gonna do that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah?
that boy is. I don't know.
You're not gonna
That's
do
what I was
that.
saying. Like, it's only different. It's not a problem with these young boys. If not Chilaranda, some of these boys, never go back to you are a junkie, but you live in the overseas. There's nothing else you
Believe
can
you
do
me,
that.
if the Zambian government, because Kuyokweka to Turkey, that's not that's not a democracy. Those people are Muslims. If somebody ngaba Zambia, if the Zambian government were serious, they would ask somebody at the embassy, go and report that boy at the police, Kuriakwine Kuteki, and you tell me that you see that boy ever broadcasting that nonsense. He's just taking it for granted right now that nobody has thought of it that way. Because that's another avenue. Somebody at the embassy can just say, look, this guy is broadcasting from here, and this is what he's saying. Those people in Turkey, are Muslims, they have a hierarchy and they have a court, and you explain it that to them. And around the next soon, they can do it from there. That's another angle if you don't want to use SIPTA. Opo and Perere, shall we now go into our run so we can end this show? Unless
Okay,
if
let's
somebody
do that.
wants to say something.
Oh no.
Okay, who wants to start the run for today? Mr. Mwami normally wants to start first.
Let me think. I have a lot. Let me just choose which one is the best for today.
Okay, Lady Sarah,
Mm.
what's your run for today? Oh, she's still driving. Bye, two of you. Now, what a run.
In it,
Uh,
Nice,
I
yeah,
think
just a
yeah,
minute.
yeah,
Okay,
it's a number. Yeah, it's a.
go ahead, Mr. Mwami.
The price of fuel has been maintained in Zambia.
Right.
It has been maintained. I don't know whether that's one way in which the economy is stabilizing. Uh, it has. I need to get the real picture, the real scenario of what makes them maintain the price and what makes them adjust the price upward and even downwards. Because on the market, I think the dollar has not been behaving very well. How has it just suddenly? How has ARB maintained the price
I think
when the
there are two factors they look into. Of course, it's the quarter dollar rate and the price of fuel on the international market. Those are the two factors that I know for sure.
yeah?
So
But anyway, it's a plus. They have maintained it. At least it's not going to increase.
that was your
not
run.
going to
That was
increase.
it.
Yes, the price of fuel has been maintained. Erant, is it supposed to be always negative or positive or neutral?
Yeah, but the price of fuel has been going down anyway. on the international market, because I see it here from let's see. Anyway, 4 hours it fluctuates every day, every day, so you never know. But I mean, it was almost $4 at the start of the summer. We are back down to $3.24 a gallon. So I would say maybe that's why they've been able to maintain the price of gas on the international market is going down. Even with the quart, the quarter rate hasn't really been bad. I mean, it's 25. It's hovering around 25.30 to 25.70. I think the last time I checked.
Mhm.
Right, Lady Sarah, your run for today.
Yeah, just a minute. My rant is, I don't know if I should talk about it, but I saw something. I know that sometimes when you talk about something, kanofya yenda sana. Nachimona wakavimba mwe wa winter.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, I saw that last minute. Yeah, you can talk about it.
yeah,
That's all right.
yeah,
You're free. I mean,
yeah. That's my rant today. So, ine nasema mwanase wakavimba avo ati vaingira vaisa kukuyupini. Nachimayo mwelesa. So mitotela vakavimba vina ikwe.
yeah.
At least I thought me totela, but I even wrote where I saw that on Facebook. I even did a comment to say, welcome, welcome,
Mm,
welcome, welcome. Yeah, but what I didn't like is what is written there to say that I had an option. We had an option of UKA, but UKA Bela, what their thoughts are about the country and
mm,
everything. They didn't give us
mm.
the whatever. So I hope you are coming in one spirit. I hope you are coming to UPND totally. Not to kulu kumbi kuli muli bauka, kumbi kuli kumbi. You see, I was reading between the lines. It shows that this man maybe asked Bauka first and they didn't, agree to him
Okay.
going into UCAB. How can you put it to say, like in Ngoleo Pomwana kasha after all, na lepo kupa Elizabeth bata aswike wangu. Eh?
Mm,
How would you
mm,
feel?
mm, 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 mm,
How would you feel imwe bantu? Ule
mm,
utwala na
mm.
na
He
kasha
was
wamwe
just,
bomwana kati na mwana
he was,
Elizabeth bata. Na
he
lepo
was
kupa
desperate.
Elizabeth. Eh? But Elizabeth ta aswike wangu. So ngeo na upili. This is how I feel about Winter Kabimba coming to UPND. He's coming, telling us that he had an option. If you had an option, just remain where you are. But if you have come to UPND, you have to be totally a UPND. Okay? Not that yo ngabali mpera bwanguliwe bauka ngebo nacho ine option nakwete. No. Don't come to us giving us like you are more important than whatever. Stay in your lane. But since you have come, watch out. Don't confuse our president. Thank you.
Right. Right with you. I'm not that quite a run.
Well, hivi, whether I should rant or talk or whatever, but Vasera has brought up a point, okay? And the point that is she's brought up the point do we as Zambians agree with Vanani Winter? I think me personally, Winter has always been one of those legend politicians. Okay, he's been there for many. Yeah, but what has he achieved or what has he done for his party and his followers? That's a big question mark. Now, he, when I listen to him, There are certain people that I listen to. I listen to him a lot. I read and then I study and I see him when he's being interviewed in various platforms. He will not be like a person that would be there to just to castigate and stuff like that, the carrying away. He would talk about things and he'll bring out ideas that are in fact very, very good, some of them. And then he would say, oh, this is what I would do, this is what I would do. But he's a man that's running a party. He's got his own political party. So political party, yeah, backward idea. Is it going forward or backward? I mean, I don't know. So what does it do in order for him to gain relevance? If he says he will or he's going to join the UPND alliance and implement or whatever or contribute, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing because Avena Winter is a seasoned politician. You know, we cannot take away that fact. We know that he's a seasoned politician, but do we are aligning to his the way he thinks, the way he does things? It's clear he doesn't like the PF, obviously, for some certain reasons, and he looking like he likes or he wants to work with us. Uh, I would say let's work with him. Let's see what he is going to contribute. That's what I can say personally, on a personal level. I yield.
On a personal note, Winter is my uncle. Seriously, but we will we'll leave it at that. And shall we just say, as for my rant for this weekend, I'm not going to talk too much about the Premier League because that ref killed my heart yesterday. It broke my heart yesterday, but I'm glad Arsenal didn't lose. We shared points with Brighton, but I blame it on the ref. And that's my rant for this week. You know, I normally don't have a rant unless if Arsenal wins. Until we meet next week, same time, same place. It's been great having you all, and happy Labor Day, and keep the faith.
Okay, goodbye.